There are some of us who have not seen an AOL homepage since there was a dial-up connection. Some of us. But today the company is making financial headlines. They might just be back with a vengeance. Then again, they could be going away. There you go. Time to check in with the Money Master. We're bringing him back because this is the reason why. The editorial director for the financial newsletter at Newsmax is the only guy who can make sense of these numbers you see on the screen. Jeff Yastine joins us on MidPoint. Jeff, good to see you again.
You too, Ed.
Let's look at these numbers. The Dow Jones down 37 points, but anything specific as we close out the market today?
No, the market had a huge run up on Friday, and really it's just kind of backpedaling here just a bit. And we presume, at least, preparing for another move higher once they get some sort of signal from the Fed, or there's further assurances somehow that the economy is onward and upward, although there are lots of doubts, obviously, about that.
Jeff, what a stunner. I believe the last time that we spoke to you on MidPoint, you and I were talking about the Fed and whether the rates were going to go up. Here we are again. Are we any closer to some sort of a decision or any closer to knowing what might happen?
Sadly, no. The markets were betting, let's say, a couple of quarters ago that they would see a rate hike in June. A few people are still betting on that right now, but I think most of Wall Street's thinking perhaps the September meeting or sometime in one of the fall meetings, but nobody really knows. What's interesting, though, is that the Fed sets the Fed funds rate, short-term interest rates, wholesale rates, if you will, but the 10-year Treasury benchmark bond or note, that trades freely, and it's interesting because the interest rate on that has been going up. It's gone from about 1.8% to 2.2, 2.3% in the last month, which means people are selling bonds. Therefore, the price of that benchmark bond, the yield on that benchmark bond is coming up. So it could be that is the beginning of the bond market anticipating finally that the Fed is going to raise rates. But we'll see it when we believe it.
We promise our audience that sometime in the next 372 years, Jeff and I will appear here and we will actually have news of the Fed doing something. I got about 90 seconds left here. Big deal. Verizon buying AOL for $4.4 billion. This makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because Verizon has to get into the content and delivery systems business or else they're going to be left behind.
Exactly. It's a $4.4 billion deal. There is a lot to speak for it in that respect. The big question, though, and we saw this with Comcast buying NBC Universal, there's a big difference between running a firm that basically has the big pipes, that's about engineering and structure, as opposed to a media operation like they're trying to think of with AOL, because that's about people skills and dealing with big salaries and stars and trying to negotiate things with Hollywood. That's a whole different range of options and belief systems here. So it'll be interesting to see Verizon make AOL work. We all know how the last time AOL was in play with Time Warner, we all know how that worked out.
Yes, we do. 30 seconds. Do you think they will keep the AOL brand name or change it? It would seem that you would want to keep it, correct?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it. I mean, it is a recognized brand name. People trust it, although it still has a kind of a stodgy brand image because of its setup from the 1990s and dial-up internet, dial-up internet bandwidth. But I believe they will keep the AOL brand name.
Yes or no? Is $4.4 billion a good deal?
I believe so, if they can make it work and make it really have synergies, which is the big question.
And don't knock those people who still have an AOL account, all right? Don't do that. I want to remind everybody, go to Newsmax.com, click on the Finance tab. That's where you'll find out what Jeff Yastine and the entire team have to say 24/7. Jeff, always a pleasure, my friend. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Ed. You too.
All right, take care. And MidPoint continues.